everybody. So today is the very last part 4 of Halloween Cake Designs with Candy Bar Cakes. And our last candy bar that I chose to do is an Almond Joy. And so what we're gonna do is start off by making a triple chocolate fudge cake. And we're going to have some fun with it. And I'm gonna put it in a pumpkin silicone mold that I bought on Amazon. I'm a little nervous about this. It didn't come with any directions. So I'm gonna be flying by the seat of my pants on this one, I think. But I think the first thing that I wanna do is, even though it's silicone, I just wanna make sure that my cake comes out because there's no going back with that. And I'm going to take my baking spray with flour and spray the top and the bottom with it. And then I'm gonna put it together because I'm assuming that I will need to pour the cake batter inside the hole on the top, and then I'm gonna place it on a sheet pan and then put that in my oven. So I have preheated my oven at 325 and it's pretty big. So I think that it will take twice the amount of cake batter that I typically make. So I'm going to do a Dr. Cake mix and use 2 boxes of triple chocolate fudge cake mix. So everything will just be doubled, and I'm also going to at least double my time, but we'll see how that goes. I'm planning on baking this for 1 hour at 325. But first of all, we're gonna add all of our wet. Now that my cake is baking, I'm gonna get going on the chocolate ganache to cover the outside of the cake. Now we're gonna make a coconut filling to put in the very center of it where that hole is, but the outside is gonna be covered in a semi-sweet chocolate ganache, and that's so easy to do. We need a good amount of it though, so I use 3 cups of heavy cream and 3 12-ounce bags of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And the reason why I did 3, because I know this makes a tremendous amount of ganache, is that we are going to take 2/3 of this to cover the cake. And then we're gonna take the last third and we're gonna make a stem for the pumpkin. So we're gonna put this in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time. Keep stirring until the chocolate and the cream have completely melted into each other. Then we're gonna put it in the refrigerator covered with plastic wrap overnight, and by tomorrow it'll be nice and thick and solid so we can do something fabulous with it. Hi everybody. So I baked that cake for a whopping 85 minutes and it came out beautifully, and I let it cool down on a rack, and then I wrapped it in plastic wrap and put it in the freezer overnight, as well as my ganache in the refrigerator. So I'm going to make the creme de la resistance. It's going to be an almond coconut buttercream to cover this cake before we put the ganache on it, so it'll taste just like an Almond Joy. So I have whipped till light and fluffy 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, and I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and some fun stuff. So a tablespoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of almond extract. So instead of putting the literal almonds in this cake, we're gonna do the flavor of almond. And a teaspoon of coconut emulsion, the same emulsion that we used in the cake itself. So, here we go. In addition to that, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of coconut cream, and I have taken just that thick part of the coconut cream off of it. And if I need to thin it down some more, I'm gonna thin it with the liquid from the coconut. So this is going to be super coconutty. I'm also going to do a cup of shredded coconut unsweetened and 4 cups of powdered sugar. So let's beat the coconut cream and the extracts together. Okay. And then we're gonna add in slowly our 4 cups of powdered sugar. And then we'll see how spreadable it is at this point. So we're gonna start really low so the powdered sugar doesn't get everywhere. So it's pretty thick. I think that we're gonna need just a little bit of this coconut liquid on the bottom of the coconut cream. I put in there, it looks like a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half. Aha, yes, success. Okay, so we just want it to be spreadable, right? Now, once all of this is together, we're gonna speed up so we can get some air whipped into it and get it nice and fluffy. And then I am going to add in my cup of shredded coconut. Now you could toast that and it would taste amazing, but I want it to stay white so that when I slice into the cake, it looks like an almond joy. So because they don't toast theirs, I'm not gonna toast mine, but if you wanted to, it would be really good. Okay, now that that is all coming together, we are going to spread this onto our cake. So I just took it out of the freezer. It's nice and cold, and I'm gonna cover it with this frosting. 20 minutes have passed and my cake icing is set. So I am going to put ganache all over it. The ganache was a little firm from being in the refrigerator overnight, so I just wanted to tell you that I put it in the microwave for about 60 seconds and stirred it every 20 seconds until it was a spreadable consistency. So I am going to spread the ganache all over the cake, put it back in the freezer for another 20 minutes, and then we're gonna take this orange edible luster dust and we're gonna paint it all over the pumpkin, so it's gonna be the great pumpkin, and then shape our ganache that's still firm into a stem to put right in the middle of our pumpkin. Hi everyone, so my cake was covered in chocolate ganache, put into the freezer for 20 minutes, and once the 20 minutes were up, I painted it. So I took orange luster dust and 2 teaspoons of it and 2 teaspoons of vodka. And the reason why vodka is because I needed it to evaporate quickly as I painted it onto the cake. So I painted the entire thing very thickly, because if you do this too thin, you're gonna have to wait for it to dry and then paint it again. So I only wanted to do it one time. So now I'm just waiting for it to dry completely, and then I will take my ganache that's in the refrigerator that was left over and form it into the top of our cake. Hi, so my paint has dried on my cake, and I took my ganache, put it in some plastic wrap and rolled it into a log, and then once it was nice and firm, I put it in the middle of my cake to look like the stem, and I took a steak knife and I scraped it to give it lines to make it look a little bit more real. But this is the great pumpkin, and I think that Linus would be happy because it's finally appeared. I hope that you'll try making this almond joy cake in the style of the great pumpkin, and happy Halloween.